Yes. Today my topic is about politics in the Eastern Caribbean or Windward Island. There's some similarity in the politics. Now we have Richard Frederick, St. King, Alan Chasney in St. Lucia, and we have Peter David in Grenada. Richard Frederick and St. King, they run independent candidate in St. Lucia elections. They do it 2 times and they win. Now politics is a game, but I understand them more than I understand Peter David. I will tell you why. Now Peter David has no political party right now because he don't want to be in a political party. He want to be a leader of a political party. So he joined political party to get leadership. Okay. Now Richard Frederick and St. King, they upset with Alan Chasney for coming and take over the United Workers' Party. Right? So there was some kind of coup in the United Workers' Party, and Alan Chasney became the leader. Richard Fredericks didn't like it, and St. King was the leader, and he get booted out, and he was also the prime minister once. So what they do now, they tag teaming Alan Chasney, and when they win the seat as independents, they work with the St. Lucia Labour Party. See the politics? So, to compare them with Peter David, now I tell you, most Caribbean people in politics don't understand politics. They talk politics and they follow blindly. They don't understand politics. Now, I predict that Alan Chasney will have to step down. Because if he don't step down, the SLP go win the next election. In the case of Peter David, he make a party. But the party he make, the question is, how many seats he could win in an election? Now, okay, St. King have a following, and Richard Fredericks have a following. Now, Peter David have a following too. But Peter David does get vote from, when he was in the NDC, he get NDC vote. When he was in NNP, he get NNP vote. So when he go on his own, he don't get in NDC and NDC vote, he don't get NNP vote. He had to look for his own vote as a political leader. But St. King and Richard Fredericks get in SLP vote, and they vote. So, in a way, I see similarity between Alan Chasney and Peter David, more than St. King and Richard Frederick, because Peter David want to be a prime minister of Grenada, and Chasney want to be a prime minister again. You understand? But the question is, how Chasney was able to take away the party from St. King? Chasney was nowhere around in politics. So how did that happen? So for the United Workers' Party to become vibrant again, they got to get rid of Chasney. Because as long as Chasney is there, they are going to win an election. Now, That's why I could say more, but I don't want to say more. The entitlement factor in the Caribbean have a great tie to colonialism, which I don't want to go into. Some people feel they're entitled, and it always happens in countries where the vast majority of population is black sub-Saharan African people. In the diaspora, where black people live in, you find all kind of strange politics. Because black people, they could be targeted as weak. And also, we have an element of tribalism in us. That is why, and we love populists. We just follow populists. And also, we have those pollsters in the Caribbean. They must stop use that word likable factor. That's nonsense. I hear in those pollsters using those words. Peter Wickham does use it. Oh, this particular individual is a likable factor. And also, by using it creating small tribal groups. And Chasney might be a likable factor in the UWP party, but his likable factor is not enough to win election. And it's the same thing what's going to happen to Peter David too. His likable factor will never help him to win an election. But in the case of Richard Frederick and Stevenson King, they're upset with Chasney. So they're running as independent, but they're getting SLP vote. You get it? So they get the SLV vote, but they have the little passive voting for them too. So if Chasney really care about St. Lucia people, he should do the right thing and step down. Or go and make your own party. Do like Peter David too. Because he's going to destroy the United Workers' Party with his entitlement factor. You see? But then again, additionally, this political color thing, a lot of people doesn't understand the political culture thing. Now, yellow is the color for the party that win the election in St. Vincent. The NDP or whatever is the name. The Godwin Friday party, one what beat Ralph. The color is yellow. The NDC in Grenada color is yellow. Now, here how the tribalism is in politics. NDC people in Grenada see color. I don't know if St. Vincent people see color in politics beyond St. Vincent. I believe Grenadians are tribal with color politics, but in a kind of backwardness. And most of them didn't know that it's James Mitchell who helped bring multi-party back in Grenada. Because after the American invade Grenada, all these political guys couldn't come together to form a party. So when the Vinci girl was telling this NDC in Grenada, the yellow is theirs, and them NDC women cussing, they don't know the political history that the party in St. Vincent is older than the one in Grenada. You getting it? And now Shasne and them the UWP party in St. Lucia color is yellow, but the UWP party in St. Lucia is an old political party. That's James Smith, that was Compton Party. So Grenadians too tribal politically, and they don't understand. Because I met a Vinci lady on the train yesterday. I was listening to St. Lucia election. Nice looking black lady. And she started laughing. So I said, why are you laughing? She said, oh, you're listening to politics too? But she see politics by the color too. She thinks that the yellow in St. Lucia should lose because the color is yellow, and I was telling her no, it's not so. And how the color come about in politics with the partnership. You see, Ralph don't want no yellow, Ralph is red. Ralph United Labour Party, them is red, but them is the friend of the NDC in Grenada. Right? So it's so funny. And then the green in Jamaica and the green in Grenada is the same. But I think Jamaica JLP party is more right-wing than the NNP in Grenada. Even though this sisterhood and brotherhood political party came about after the US invasion. So we have a lot to learn politically, and as a black man myself, I'm sorry for black people. We tribal, and tribalism, even a lot of educated people tribal. We messing up Grenada with tribalism. And maybe the other Caribbean island is the same with this tribal politics. So the best thing for Shasne to do is to resign, because St.Vincent King and Richard and the other guy, they have a following. And he will be very hard. Richard Fredericks, they have a following. And Shasne, I don't think he can make it. But the question is, why Shasne want to be the Prime Minister of St. Lucia? When he was not involved in politics before. Do we have a philosophy that we don't know about? Or he just want to be a leader? I see Shasne and Peter David as similar politicians, but one from the right and one from the left. The entitlement factor. And they have people following them. But we can't build a democracy that way. That's my opinion. Nobody entitled for political power. And when I say that, people are threatening me. We have to evolve behind those things, because the way the politics is in St. Lucia, Richard Fredericks is satisfied to be an MP and to make sure Shasne don't win. And Stephen King satisfied to be an MP and Shasne don't win. But Peter David don't want to be in no political party if he cannot be the leader. You catch the politics, right? Where will we go from here with this type of politics? This thing about likable factor in politics is backwardness. We don't live with Jim Jones in the jungle in Guyana, following people because you think they're likable. There's nothing. This is nonsense. Politics is people interests. Politics is interest. This likable factor thing is nonsense. Is politics. And Shasne should do the right thing and step down. And I think also the Ralph party in St. Vincent that might be the end of that party too. I think that party is done. I think so. When Ralph thought the NNP done, I think Ralph party more look like done. He finished. Because whatever they say about the NNP in Grenada, the NNP is not a family party. Ralph Data was part of the diplomatic corps working overseas in the diplomatic corps. His son was finance minister and he is prime minister and other members of his family. Right? So they were building a dynasty, right? But the NNP didn't do it. So when they bashing the NNP so hard, well, okay, you could say Kit Muzzy the stay too long, but then Kit the offer you guys 2 term. If we did vote for 2 term, Kit will go. So when we like, oh, Kit greedy, he's still on. You didn't vote for the 2 term, so you can't hit Kit too hard. And we got to give Grenada NNP party a praise for coming up with the idea of 2 term. Well, in Guyana it's 2 term. But Guyana is proportional representation. Because if it wasn't for 2 term, Jack Dio will still be the president of Guyana. But he grew a young politician to take his place, and he always the deputy, the vice president, right? But we have to give, when they bashing NNP all the time, the NNP was way ahead of them on that one. Based on, I was reading a nice piece of writing by Dr. Jessime Valmont Jessime, and she mentioned that in the politics. So it's up to we to create democracy than following likable people in politics. Likable people in politics don't make a country a better country. You have to vote for policies and a stable democracy. This tribalism thing can work. You understand? Chasney had to go. And I think Ralph party done. And as long as Richard Fredericks and Stephen King run into tag team Chasney, he go win the seat. Because the little popularity they have, they get in the SLP vote to add with it. But where Peter David go get extra vote? That's the question. In the tongue of St. George, only vote he get in the tongue of St. George when he run on the NDC. Was not his vote. He get NDC vote. And what he have? And he get NNP vote when he was in NNP. So he is in a position like Chasney now. Even though Chasney is able to win his seat. Chasney win his seat on UWP strength in the area. Can Peter David pull it? It's likable factor politics. It's nonsense. You guys have to educate yourself and unlock your brain and think with sense. Than following like when you're in Guyana with Jim Jones. And we should be more advanced in politics in Grenada than that, you know. Because you follow Maurice Bishop without thinking. That's why a lot of value, some value dead on October 19th. And who didn't dead still don't understand. You understand? So anyway, this is my little common sense unfolding of what took place in St. Lucia yesterday. But as I will say it again, I don't see politics by sister party in the Caribbean. That's nonsense. I think I'm glad Ralph go. Yeah. Because Ralph was interfering in Grenada politics. And if he was a friend of Maurice Bishop, he can be a good person. He could be heartless. In the case of Philip J. Pierre, I think he is a pretty decent guy. He need a second term. But Ralph did not make it. Ralph didn't need to go. And I'm not into no politics based on sister party and brother party. I just giving my opinion. I'm happy for Philip J. Pierre. He look like a decent guy. I believe Chasney is a political opportunist, or Chasney just feel entitled. Yeah. And in Grenada it's the same nonsense too. Some people feel they're entitled to rule, and if they can't rule, they don't want to follow. This is not politics. Everybody can be the head of a political party. So if you join a political party and nobody will do nothing, why you leaving? And you want to go to make a party if you cannot be a leader. And in St. Lucia, how Chasney could come from Norway and get the United Workers' Party when he was not a politician? This is a question to answer. I'm a liberated black man, you know. I don't, and I just be thinking, we got to stop following blindly and creating artificial tribe. Got to stop that nonsense. Anyway, I gone till I come again. Hudson, Georgia, as usual. Right now, you know where I am? I'm sitting right here in Windsor train station. I'm coming from America. And I had the good news for you guys. I've been going to America all the time. The people don't bother you. So all these things you see in the news, don't worry. You're coming from Canada, you're going in America, you have no problem. They treat you good. Nobody treat you bad. The same America, you know, from different presidents. Now Donald Trump is the same, is here, the same way they treat people. They don't treat you different. No worries. You want to go to America for 2 days, you could go. They don't bother you. Everything is nice. Okay? I don't go in America as regular as before again, but I still go sometime. It's nice. Nobody bother you. You're only there in a different country from Canada, but there is no problem. And Americans are friendly people, in my opinion. The black American treat me good, the white American treat me good. Anyway, this is me, Hudson, Georgia. I gone till I come again.